Bloemfontein, good morning. My name is Lynette and Ntuli, and I'm here this morning to host I Am an Entrepreneur Bloemfontein. We're delighted to be in the Free States this morning. And I'm an Entrepreneur is a success, not because of the stories you will hear, not because of the fantastic speakers we bring you, but it's a success because of you. And it's a success based on the questions you asked. It's based on the networks you create once you leave here. And more importantly, it's what you do with what you learn from Monday morning or after you leave, the type of information you share with even your friends who are not here with us.
My name is Khumalo. I actually met two people this morning. I met Pam and Buselezo. They're both members of the Basa Student Chapter, and they are currently studying at the Central University of Technology. And they are here today to learn about entrepreneurship. And probably it's because they want to venture. So they're here to learn more and network. Thank you.
Good day, entrepreneurs. My name is Kenneth. I just met Mr. Mujala Toko. He is an employee and he's also an entrepreneur, and he is involved in procurement, and he loves the buying and selling of things, especially innovative and new stuff. And I'm so inspired to have met him because he initiated that before we leave here. He would have given me at least his contact, and probably in the future we can discuss something from the entrepreneur perspective. So, cheers.
We want to just make sure that young leaders in particular are empowered and transformed into the type of business leader that South Africa is going to need today. So between the three of us, what we're really here to do is not only ignite a passion for entrepreneurship, we're also making sure that the type of leader in each of those businesses is the type of leader that South Africa is going to need, but also the type of leader who can lead a successful, sustainable business through entrepreneurship.
People try and solve, and the question goes something like this: are entrepreneurs born or made? Entrepreneurs are born to be made. The unfortunate thing with most young people, they believe that registering a company, having a business card is a business. Having a plan doesn't mean that you have a house. Having a business card doesn't mean that you have a business. Having a business plan does not mean that you have a business. I want to talk about the businessman behind the business. So if you are not willing to submit to someone who is better than you, know that you are not going to be able to build your work ethics. You're not going to be able to build a work culture within your body. And I have to be honest with you, in my young life when working for those 10 years, I realized that submission is a selfish act. Meaning that I will never submit to someone who I don't believe that me being associated with them is going to take me to a higher level than myself doing it alone. And the spiritual terms will say, make money for someone else before you make money for yourself. Because while making money for someone else, you're actually building the work ethics. Clarity in understanding your purpose will assist you in understanding what type of entrepreneur you're going to be. Whatever you do today, it's for you. If you cheat today, you're cheating on yourself. If you work less today, you're cheating on yourself. The reason why today is called the present, it's something that you present yourself many years ago. What is it that you're presenting yourself 5 years from now? What is it that you're presenting yourself a year from now? Work hard. Submit under someone until you are sure of who you are. Know your purpose on earth. I thank you.
I think small business is the future of this country. You know, a small business contributes, in terms of workforce, over 2/3 of the workforce in South Africa, and it contributes over 40, I think maybe over 50% of the GDP of this country. So it's a really important part, and you will see now how Nedbank also embarked on a partnership with government to promote small business in South Africa.
It's It's a pleasure to see your beautiful faces this morning and to be in Bloemfontein, actually. It's my second time here, and you guys are so friendly, which is very refreshing. So, as they told you, my name is Unontogoza and I work for Reino South Africa. My portfolio there is just to work with partnerships, and this is one of our focus as well. I'm an entrepreneur. So, I mean, Reino sees so much value with working with such an initiative, because just looking at our facts and stats right here in South Africa, we know very well that a lot of young people are sitting with their degrees at home with no work. We know very well that we just don't have jobs available. So it's very critical, you know, that we partner with associations and initiatives that are going to drive forward change, and especially, you know, touch base with people from the communities, just people, students like you guys, or young entrepreneurs or young adults that have a passion for entrepreneurship. So that is why Reino SA sees such value in partnering with such an initiative. And I hope that while you're here, you know, you'll just be honest with yourself and just try to look within yourself what you can do to give back to this country, because this country needs us. It does not need the government, it does not need, you know, a lot of different things, but it just needs you as an individual to see what you can do. You know, maybe you're that one person who's going to be providing a lot of jobs for those young graduates out there who are sitting with their degrees but with no jobs. So I urge you and encourage you strongly just to take this session into heart and truly listen and figure out pointers, you know, that would maybe just, you know, change South Africa for a better way forward.
If you think government has not given you a road or the house that they said they're going to give to you, or the water that they said they're going to give it to you, and you are still waiting, you are going to wait for a long time. But if you start doing those things yourself or building that house yourself, they might notice that actually this person just needs a few more bricks, or just needs a roof, or just needs a light bulb, and he's got this thing together already. Same with business. I think it's much, much easier now for me to go to you, Cyril, and say to you, this Blacks Only comedy show, Joburg, first show 10 years ago, 60 Rand a ticket, 1,000 people. March 29th, 180 Rand to 340 Rand a ticket, 3,000 people. So we could make 640,000 a show, if you want, if you're interested in this thing that I'm doing. Right? So that's the business plan I can show you now, which I couldn't have shown you 10 years ago. Because my business plan, to be honest, I would have to say to you, I've got jokes, Chief. I'm going to tell them over a period of this time, and then they're going to make me this amount of money. But there is no blueprint for anything that I've done. So there is no single reference for any bank or financial institution for them to check and come back to me and said, yes, this model will work. I am the model. I have created the model. The model is there now. The guys that you know, that you read about, have created the models. The models are here now. They were not there before. It's a precedent that you can create a TV show, go to a sponsor, go to a broadcaster and say, these are my terms. I would like to have this TV show or partner with you on these terms. And they will say yes or no. But you didn't have those options before. No one had those options before, but they're there now. I'm sure my time is up. I can go on and on and on and on. Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Gao. I make people laugh. It's easy to get the title, but what matters really is the difference that you make with that title or within that corporation that you're in. Thank you so much for coming.
What that means is we don't have an economy if we don't have entrepreneurs. What that means is the jobs that every politician under the sun, whichever party you want to vote for on the 7th, where they promise jobs, they actually can't. They don't have the ability to give you a job, at least not on a sustainable basis. The people in this room, though, have the ability to give many other generations jobs and grow this economy and make this country a success. Here's what's going to happen to you as an entrepreneur. You're going to fail, probably not even once. I have failed numerous times. It's a wonderful thing. Now, why is this important for you to know now and internalize? Because it's a guarantee. It's almost like death. Here's the funny relationship we have with death. We've all lost loved ones. But isn't it funny how life goes on? Even when it was unimaginable that life would go on without this person in your life, somehow we've been conditioned to know that at some point in our lives, we will die. So we've learned to live with it. Failure is like that for entrepreneurs. It's like death. It's coming. You just don't know when, and you don't know which business is going to fail or which idea is not going to turn out to be that great. So I want to give you comfort today. If you're running a business and you're struggling, and you're looking at this thing and it's not working out, that's wonderful. Because you know what failure does for you? Is that it gives you an opportunity to learn. Failure is not an outcome, but it involves a lack of trying, i.e., not stretching yourself enough to put yourself in a position where you could be unsuccessful in something. So you can live your life dormant, do everything safe, everything all the time. You won't learn anything. And of course, if you're always safe, you're probably not going to fail. If you are failing, it means you're trying. If you're trying, it means you're learning. See, the difference between the good and the great, the difference between the good and the great is that the great work harder than everybody else. There's no shortcut to this thing, guys. Aiko. If there was, it died with apartheid. There's no shortcut. There's only hard work. There is no other way. Most successful people are not successful because they were naturally intelligent. My favorite example of that is Richard Branson. Richard Branson would have been that guy with an F for woodwork in matric. He was dyslexic, i.e. he had a condition which made sure he could not read or formulate words. He still does. He's a multi-pound billionaire. I don't think it's because he's naturally intelligent. I think that it's just a guy who just worked harder than everybody else. And that's the one thing we can all cultivate, a work ethic, an ability to work harder than everybody else, to sleep less than everybody else, to focus more than everybody else, to be as professional and more professional than everybody else. Principles for me out of that, two things. One, start now. Not next week, not tomorrow, today. Whatever the idea is, if you really feel passionate about it, start it now. It's not too late, or it's not too early either. And two, be persistent. There's a reason why there's only so few of us as entrepreneurs. There's a reason why this room is not full of 10,000 people. There's a reason why this is not FNB Stadium. It's because this thing is really hard. This thing is not for everybody. It needs somebody who can take 1,000 no's and persist and now build a business that's hundreds of billions of dollars. My advice to you, nothing beats focus. You can't master everything. You can't be passionate about everything. Choose a focus and be the best at it, the best your neighborhood, your market has ever seen in it. If you're not selling, you're not in business. Say it with me. If I'm not selling, I'm not in business. Now, why is this so simple but yet so complex? How many of you spend hours writing proposals, working on the logo, going to meetings over beer, and you can't sell to save your life? Ladies and gentlemen, we are all in sales. The only thing that pays the bills is that we provide a good or a service to somebody and they pay us money. Stop fantasizing about your revenue numbers. Stop fantasizing about, the 100 million rand tender. That's the tender value. That's not the cash that's going to go into your back pocket when you're done. The only thing that matters is the cash. I like to say, follow your passion and the money will come. Follow your passion and the money will come.
Bloemfontein, and all the entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs. What we hope we have left with you today is an important message that you're not going to keep for yourself. It's an important message that we hope that each of you are going to take back into your own lives, but are also going to use to transform the ideas, the thoughts, as well as the passions of the people around you who are having the type of conversations that brought you here today. Share what you learned today. Share it with others. Open others' worlds with it. We share not to keep it to this 100, but we share so that this 100 can take it to the next 100. And the 100 after that can create 1,000 with bright new ideas who are lighting new fires and are sparking their own imaginations and turning those into their own destinies and businesses. So thank you to each of you for taking your time on a Saturday morning, for joining us, for listening as attentively as you each have.